Hey everybody, it says I'm live now, so I'm gonna guess that I did. I was in the middle of a live here, probably about 3 or 4 minutes into one, and I got 2 text messages in a row, and the second one knocked me offline. So we'll try this again. I got all day. Anyway, what I was talking about the last time, I talked to a couple of other drivers. The first one was an older man who's in his 70s, is still out driving. This guy was wearing clothes that were worn out. I mean, they had holes worn in them, not tore, but worn holes. His clothes were so disheveled. And whenever he and I got to talking, and whenever I told him that I was running loads, dedicated loads out of the DC for Walmart, oh man, that just triggered him. And he started telling me about, I told my dispatcher I would drive this, but I won't drive that, and I will drive this, but I won't drive that. And he was telling all the stuff that he won't do. Yeah, number one, it makes me think, just looking at he hadn't shaved in a long time. His mustache was way long. His beard was unkempt. His hair, he had not had a haircut in a long time. His clothes had holes worn in them. They were so old. This guy does not take care of himself. I don't know how much money he's making, and I don't know what he's doing with his money that he is making. It's none of my business, but man, what a, you know, I told him I was energetic. I wanted to run. I wanted 600 or 700 miles a day behind me, and that's, I get paid by the mile, and I want to make as much money per mile as I can, and I want to put as many miles as I can behind me every day. And man, that just triggered him. But you know, we're all in this for a different reason, so it seems. And shortly after I had that conversation, another guy wandered up. And he had his wife riding with him, and my wife rode with me for a while, and she's going to come do it again here shortly. But anyway, we got to talking back and forth, and I started telling him the same thing and asking him, you know, are you making any money? Are you making any money? And my wife is texting me again, so maybe it won't kick me offline. Hey, Elite, good to see you, man. Anyway, the second guy, whenever I told him the same thing, that basically I'm in this for the money, I'm strictly in it, and I want to put as many miles behind me as I can, and I don't want to run little short runs. I want long distance. You know, I'm a long-legged greyhound. Put me on the long distance ones, and I'm happy. Don't put me on the wiener dog runs. It's, you know, the little short wiener dog runs. I'm happy with the long distance runs. Anyway, he got triggered over that, and he's like, well, if you do 2 of these little short ones a day, you can make right at 400 miles a day. Isn't that enough for you? And I'm like, no, it's not. And man, that triggered him. It's like, drivers, what is it with these old guys that they don't want you to make any miles? They don't want you to make any money. I am all for anybody that gets up in the morning and goes, man, let's get after it. Let's make some money. Let's put some miles behind us. Let's get it. Let's get all they got every day. And I'm after, that's me. I'll take all they got. All I can possibly put behind me, I'll put behind me. I like the light loads because I can go faster and put more miles behind me. The heavy loads slow me down, so they cost me money. Anyway, it's kind of odd that and we're all in this for a different reason. But as I was saying in my first live here, during a term where we had a president that's name began with an O, I lost a significant amount of money that I had invested in the stock market during that time. That money, most of it was in bonds. I'll just leave it at that. So, baby, if you're listening to this, I don't know. Anyway, my wife is texting me again, but hopefully it didn't kick me offline this time. Anyway, she's saying my thing is private, but people are, my goal every day is 600. Yes, that's me, Elite. I want to put as many miles behind me as I can. Elite's saying that his goal is 600 every day, but the best he's done is 700 and something. And that's me. Whenever I had a 70-mile-an-hour truck, the best I've ever done is like 746 miles I put behind me in one day. I would like to do that every day. I made a lot of money that day. I would like to make a lot of money every day. That's my goal. I'm in this to rebuild my retirement. So that's what this is all about. Anyway, I guess everybody is in this for their own reason. They're all doing their own thing, and they all, they're happy with what they're doing. I talked to a few drivers a while back that told me that they were making 3,000 miles a day. 3,000 miles a week. And we got to talking about money, and I asked them, well, how much money are you making? And they said, well, our average paycheck is about $800. And I'm going, there's no way. They work for the same company I do. If you're only making $800, you're not doing. I said, well, wait a minute. How much are you having taken out? And they go, no, nothing. We're not taking anything unusual out, just our insurance. And I've got the best insurance that CRETE offers, so they can't be, and plus mine's a family plan, so it can't be any more than me. But as far as other deductions or whatever, they didn't have any. But so if they're only bringing home $800 a week, they ain't making 3,000 miles a week. They're making like 1,800 miles a week, tops. So a lot of people just flat don't know how many miles they drive a week. They drive what they think is a lot every day, and they think it's 3,000 miles a week. And as long as they're happy, God bless them. That's just the way it is. So anyway, I had something else on my mind that I was going to talk about today, and it has totally slipped my mind right now. But that's the gist of this whole talk is talking about we're all in this for a different reason. Some people are just to make ends meet. I get it. Some people are driven like me, and they want to put as much money in the bank as they can and stock up for the future. Some guys that are single, you have to realize, yeah, that's me too, Elite. Elite is saying that he checks his paycheck every week and compares that to the dispatch miles and makes sure that the two match. I try to do the same thing every week. So you can catch mistakes and catch where they've left out something. If it doesn't look right, it probably isn't. So, but that's me. I pay attention to every penny. And some guys actually do not have a home. And that's the other thing. I was going to title this, Homeless Truck Drivers. There's an awful lot of men, mostly men, some women, but the vast majority of truck drivers are men. And a lot of them are middle-aged to older men, more older than middle-aged. But you'll find a lot that are either divorced or they're widowed, or for some other reason they've never been married, or but they do not have a quote-unquote home. They may have their mail sent to their brother or their sister's house, or their children's house or whatever, but they do not own a home. They live in their truck. They literally, a lot of people, I have family and friends and whatever that watch these videos that they're as interested in the truck driver life as anybody else, and they really don't know this. But so if you're a truck driver, you understand this and you know this already, but there's a lot of guys that literally live in their truck. They don't take any home time. They just drive and drive and drive. Some of those guys drive 8 hours a day. That's all they want. You can generally drive 350, 400 miles a day, driving 8 hours a day. Hang it up, have you some personal time, and play video games or do whatever, and do another 8 hours tomorrow, and you can drive like that forever. The way the federal government looks at it, you don't have to take any, your clock never runs out. You can run on recaps forever, and just 8 hours a day. That's what you do all day, every day. 8 hours a day you drive. That's not for me. That's not the life for me. I'm building. I own a home. My wife, as you can tell, is me and her are close. We actually get along better, I think, sometimes when we're apart. But man, I miss her. I wish she was with me. I wish she would quit her job and ride with me all the time just to have her here. But that is what I work for. I work for her and for our retirement and for our future. That's what I'm doing all this for. Other guys, you know, that everybody has a different reason, and that's the gist of this whole talk. But I don't get mad at the other people that are, you know, if they only want 400 miles a day and they can make do with that and they're happy with it, more power to them. And like the old man that I started this off with, talking to him, and you know, and he's telling the company what he wants and what he don't want. Elite, I normally, when I first came to work for CRETE, it was 21 days, and buddy, I was home and doing my 3 days and then back, and it got to where I stretched that out. I figured out, well, if you stay out, instead of 21, stay out 26 days, you can take like 5 days off or 4 days off. So that's what I was doing, so I'd get longer home times. And I was trying to, because my wife works and she gets off early on Friday and she's home Saturday and Sunday and goes back to work Monday, I would try to be home Wednesday, and then I would be with her Thursday afternoon, all day Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday, and then I'd go back on the road Monday. If I had some kind of doctor appointment or whatever, I'd stretch that out and go back on Tuesday and try to get my doctor's appointments or whatever done on that Monday. So, but I kind of stretched that out, and it's getting longer and longer. So this particular time, I took a week off at the first week of January. I took the week off, and then the third week of February, I took off and went home. And this time I've come back out the fourth week of February, and I'm going to stay out here till June. The reason being is that whenever they turn me back over to the national board, I lose money, and then because it's less cents per mile, plus they send me home, and I may end up wasting a day or a half a day because of that. And then the whole time I'm home, of course, I make no money. And when they put me back on the boards, they may give me a little short run here, and then I'll have to sit for a while and wait until a good load comes to kind of get me back into the routine again. So it cost me a lot of money to go home. So I'm staying out here, and instead of me going home, I'm going to fly my wife from Nashville up here to Denver, and she's going to ride with me for a week at the end of April, and then I won't actually go home until the end of June. So I know that's a long time, but I'll make a lot of money during that time. This is right now I'm doing real well because nobody wants to come up here and run in Montana and Idaho and Utah and Wyoming and Colorado. Nobody wants to run this area in the wintertime. And because of that, the guys that will come run it are making a killing, and I'm one of them. So that's kind of where I'm at right here. I'm over my 15 minutes, so it's going to kick me offline. I got to go, but thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you hanging in there. Thanks a bunch, guys. See you next time.